everybody, and welcome to another amazing episode of Unstoppable Success. I am your host, Jaclyn Strominger, and on this podcast, we hear from amazing leaders, industry professionals on their tips, insights on unstoppable success. We get to hear their stories so you can glean your way to having success. And today, I get to introduce you to the amazing Graham Kuhn. And let me tell you a little bit about Graham. Uh, he is the founder of Focus Films, where he helps personalized medicine practices tell their story their patients need to hear before they ever reach out. And Graham's creates brand story films for concierge, say that 10 times fast, membership-based and direct care physicians, helping them bridge the critical gap between someone researching a practice and finally deciding that's the doctor that I've been looking for. With a background as a music and opera performer, Graham brings a unique ability to draw out the real story behind a physician's mission, why they left the traditional system, and what kind of care they're creating, and what it actually feels like to be a patient in their practice. His work helps doctors build trust, shorten the sales cycle, and connect with people that they were meant to serve. So, welcome, Graham. And yes, I have to just say, doctors do sell.
Oh yeah,
Have to always be selling. Anyway,
absolutely. Well, hey, thanks for having me, Jaclyn. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
it's so great to have you here. So, I'm looking at your bio and you've had an interesting trajectory, gym manager, working at a church to now this. This is like these are great steps to unstoppable success. So, talk a little bit about your journey and how you got to where you are right now.
Sure. And you also mentioned in the intro about my background in
Yeah.
in music, and that's kind of where it all started. Was I went to college to be an opera singer, and so that got me to a big city. I grew up in Wisconsin. Singing got me to Atlanta, a big metropolis, and from there I had a singing career, and from that got to doing music at a big church. And then through that, it was like 2009 or 10. They were like, "Hey, you've made videos before for like wrestling teams and football highlights." I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Can you start doing video production for us?" I'm like, "Sure." So over the next 10 years or so, I was cranking out 3 or 4 videos every single week. And I mean, that's a lot of videos, man. And just really adapted this storytelling, authentic, real human behind the brand kind of a vibe that I do, not scripted sales videos and things like that, but really like documentary, emotional kind of stuff. And then long story short, it's just my church luckily was in a very well-to-do area of Atlanta. So everybody in the church every weekend is seeing my work and they start calling the office like, "Hey, who makes the videos? They're very good. I need one for my business." And that slowly snowballed into a very successful side hustle and got to a point where I'm up till 2 in the morning editing. I'm using every day of my vacation to go on video shoots, and something had to give. And so at 45 years old, my wife and I are like, "Oh my gosh, am I going to quit my salary job with health insurance and all that with
Benefits and all those things.
with 3 young kids at home, and my wife's a stay-at-home mom?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're gonna do it." So we saved up money, and I had a full book of clients, and I mean, I had like 100 grand of committed contracts for the next like 4 months, and so compared to my church salary, that was insane. The rough part of the story is that my last day at the salary job was March 13th, 2020. 3 days later, everything shut down and all the clients disappeared, and I had nothing. And so it was a rough time. We
Yeah.
got through it. Everything turned out great. We're 6 years into full time and doing really well. But that was a tough time, but that's how I got to where I'm at now.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about that hurdle of, obviously, how did you get through that tough time? Like,
Yeah. Um, I think a lot of it was as cliche as it is, but it's mental toughness or focusing or being stoic or not being like I just tried to focus. Like, okay, this is and don't get me wrong, I'm usually really even keeled. But for that next 2 weeks, when everything shut down and every phone call I got was cancel the project, cancel the project, cancel the project, and I just quit my job and I got 3 kids at home, and I just sat on the couch and got drunk for 2 weeks straight. I'm not even kidding. And it's just like I didn't know what to do. But so it was focusing on My father-in-law was telling me I need to beg for my job back. My wife is literally screaming at me in the kitchen, like, you need to call them and get your job back. And I just kept saying, I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling pulled to do that. I know that if I go back to that safety, that salary and all that, I'll never have the guts to do this again. Like it was really scary. I never dreamed of being an entrepreneur. Like it just happened. So I knew I wouldn't have the guts to do it again. And then slowly but surely, I started focusing more on clients who needed help. I focus on helping. I focus on just showing up, especially in my local community. I was offering free videos for restaurants and whoever needed help. I'm like, let me help you tell your message. How can I help you? How can I be a leader in this community? Clients were calling out, like, well, we've pivoted to live streaming now. Can you do live streaming? And I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I can get some equipment. I've done it at the church. And so I really just focused on serving. Like I always say, serve to sell. I believe if I show up and I serve people, that's how I sell. It's just, I'm here to help. I truly believe in what I do. I truly 1,000% believe that what I do benefits people. And so it's easy for me to quote unquote sell it because I really believe that it's going to help. And so just focusing on serving, focusing on helping, focusing on showing up and not just crawling in that ball, crawling up in the corner and sucking my thumb and crying like, oh my God, what did I do? I did that for 2 weeks. I am not perfect. But then I knew I had to take action. Imperfect action beats inaction anytime. I just had to do something. And so I just started doing something by showing up in the community, offering free videos, like doing whatever I could to keep moving forward.
So, listeners, I want you to understand something that is so important. Action. What Graham is saying is to have that unstoppable success when you take the leap, action is always going to win. So kudos to you. Like I feel like, pat yourself on the back and like give yourself like the right, because right, that's huge. I mean, it could have gone, it could have gone backwards, right? And it was great that you listened to your gut, what
Yeah.
your gut was telling you. And that's so important. I can't begin to tell you how many times I wish I had really listened to my gut when the gut was telling me something, or there was getting some weird vibration or some, like, I don't know, like your gut's telling you, or you feel like listen to your gut.
I'll say I do that in sales meetings as well. I learned that from a mentor years ago, where it was like, if you want to be happy in your business, you want to work with people that make you happy. You want to work with people you like being around. And
Right.
so it's this, if you get like red flag vibes or it's like this doesn't feel like a good fit, don't be desperate and take the job just because you quote unquote need the money. Filter people out, and if it's not a good fit, then say no. And that is a huge lesson for me because when we first start out, it's like I need every dollar. I know they don't have any budget, but I really need the work, and they're a complete nightmare, but I really need the money. It's so soul sucking, and you lose all of your joy. And their name shows up on your phone, and you're like, oh my God. Whereas now, because I say no to the red flags, I love working with everybody that I work with. I love working with my clients, and it's such a blessing to learn that lesson that
Right.
we need to filter out the red flags and feel your gut like I'm not getting great vibes from this person. Maybe it's not a great fit.
Right. I love that. And it's so true, particularly with clients. You, like, as you said, I love that, you have to like the people that you're working with. You really, really do. You have to
Yep.
really like them.
I actually had a coffee meeting with a coach this morning. We were just catching up and I was just talking to her about how, it used to be like, well, if you're not happy in your job or whatever, you just push through, suck it up and just tough it out.
Shut up, Buttercup,
I don't
right?
I don't know if that was I don't know if that was about my Wisconsin farm boy upbringing or like I was picturing my college wrestling coach being like, run another set of stairs, you fat ass. Like that is the coaching that I had. It was like just push through. But I'm like, I've realized there's nothing wrong with being happy. There's nothing wrong with enjoying what you do. You can chase joy. You can chase happiness. You don't have to sit in a job that makes you miserable the rest of your life because that's what your dad did. That's what your grandpa did. It's like it's okay to be happy with what you do. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. They're like, well, You just go to college and then you work in a cubicle the rest of your life and then you get a gold watch and you die. That doesn't sound fun to me.
No, that doesn't sound fun. It just sounds like Dilbert.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it
That's our Gen
that's
X
right.
upbringing. It's like
Right. Just
just
right. And
go
if you guys
sit in a
don't know what
cubicle the
Dilbert
rest.
is, because we're sticking with our ages, go look it up. It's a cartoon. It used to appear in the newspaper.
Oh my God, that's
Sorry,
awesome.
I'm like, oh, I'm really not that old, am I? Oh.
I know that I am. I know that I am. But hey, I embrace it.
Oh. All right. So I love that this business came out of something that you were doing. So people are asking you about, can you do this kind of recording, go live streaming during COVID? So how did you end up with the medical practice? Like, where did that? Because I'm assuming not all the people that were coming to you initially were doctors.
Yeah, exactly. I started basically serving anybody that, could afford it. And then I kind of whittled it down to I really like working with like construction companies, whether it's roofers or home builders or things like that. I got on a retainer with a luxury custom home builder out of Florida who I'm still with 7 years later. I found out that I really like working with those people. And then also I loved working with like the local chiropractors, the local attorneys. Like I enjoyed working with them. Um, and then the farther I went down the line, as I started working with a coach, we were trying to like really hone in on my 1 year goals, my 10 year goals. Where do you want to be when you retire? What do you want to do? And the more we talked, he's like, who do you absolutely love working with? And if you could work with them the rest of your life, you'd be happy. And I literally said, concierge medicine. And he's like, why is that? And it's because one, it's a very untapped market. I think it's an emerging market where doctors, physicians are starting to leave the hospital model, the insurance model, and going on their own. Because from what I've heard from my clients, is they get burned out with that model. They don't feel like they can serve their clients, serve their patients the way that they were trained to because they're limited by what insurance lets them prescribe and lets them do. They feel very rushed. They get 10 minutes with each patient. Um, and I mean, gosh, one of my clients told me she had 3,000 patients on her books when she was working at a hospital. I'm like, how is that even possible? And so
Do the math,
the
right?
uh,
3,000 patients divided by five, divided by how many? 15 minutes per, whatever.
well, I went to college being an opera major. I don't do math, but
I,
but
I think in numbers, sorry.
But yeah, I know it sounds like such a huge number, but I see how okay, I see how that makes sense.
Right.
But it's like 3,000, whereas they've got I don't know, 50 or 100 now in their current practice. But really why I like working with them is first of all, that courage to leave the safety net of what they were doing. Second of all, their heart behind actually wanting to help people. Like the very first iteration of my brand story video for my company, Focus Films, started off with me saying, I just love to see people win. I love to uplift others. I think a rising tide lifts all boats.
Mhm.
And I think the more I give, the more I get. And so I love to see other people win. I have a very abundant mindset. I don't have a scarcity mindset where if you win, then somehow I lost. And I think these physicians take that same approach where they're just like, I just want to help people. I want to see people win, if you will. And so I love that. And so my coach was just like, who do you love working with? Let's pick that ideal client and like really extrapolate from there. And so also because concierge medicine is kind of an unknown industry for the most part, they spend so much time having to explain what they do. Well, how do you take insurance? How is this different than what you were doing? Oh, it's a monthly fee or it's a retainer or and explaining that. We put that on a video and it's on the website. Then they don't have to explain it 100 times. It's already there. Or their brand story video talking about why they left the hospital. And it's all I focus on why for all of my clients, I focus on why they did it because that's what resonates with people. So telling that story, that's on the website. So when somebody goes there, they're like, oh, instead of reading 5 pages of a website, Let me watch this 2 minute video, very emotional documentary. The physician is speaking from their heart and it just touches the person. They're like, oh my gosh, I need to work with this person. And so, really, just all in all, those people resonate with me. It just aligns with who I am, with wanting to help people, wanting to do good in the world. Um, it's not like my wife and I live a fairly holistic lifestyle. Like my wife is very anti-pharmaceuticals. I'm like, give me all the drugs. But so, uh, but we embrace, the doctors who are like, well, we don't have to prescribe medicine. Let's try tweaking your diet a little bit and maybe exercising twice a week. Let's try lifestyle changes before we prescribe. I think that's amazing. And so I love to tell those stories. So I just slowly niched down into this specific industry because it just aligns with who I am and who I want to help. And by me helping them, they're going to help thousands of people. And I got to say that feels pretty damn good. Like knowing that I'm going to have this ripple effect across humans.
That's right. You're going to have this great impact.
Yeah, I love it.
You help create the impact. So because of because of niching down, do you only work with doctors? I mean, obviously
No.
you mentioned real estate and you mentioned, so obviously you have other clients, but do you still take on others?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just my website right now is specifically for concierge medicine. There's only two offers on there, and that's what we're focusing on. But I'm still working with like actually I'm doing a bunch of stuff for Microsoft right now, working with realtors and attorneys and things like that. I'm just not seeking that out. I'm not advertising it. But at the end of the day, the frameworks that we take from storytelling and the neuroscience and how we do messaging and how we get you to
Right. Mm.
sound comfortable on camera and authentic, it's all the same across all industries. It's just for the home builder, we're shooting B-roll of you building a house. For the chiropractor, we're shooting B-roll of you working on somebody's neck. But the story framework and all of that is all the same.
Right. Right. But I want to bring something out. So, because I think some people, something that you said, and so listeners, I think this is also a really important tip. When you started your business, you were like taking whatever stuff, but you end up niching down. And here's the thing that I think that's also really important is that when you niche down, you're focused on one business, but what ends up happening is other people still see your work. So you don't just so even though your niche is doctors, it's the other people that see it that say, "Oh, I actually want to reach out and talk to him."
Yeah, and let's be completely transparent about that. I have been terrified to niche down for that reason because of oh my gosh, if I focus on concierge medicine, then the roofers aren't going to call me anymore. And like, I mean, that's a real fear for everybody. But I learned this in a referral networking group that I was in for 5 years, once every week for 5 years. And the person that ran it was all about being very specific about who you want to work with, which is counterintuitive because I'm like, I want to work with anybody that's got a bank account. But then you're identifying nobody. It doesn't make anybody think like, oh, I want to work with him because he works with XYZ. It's just, oh, he's a video guy. And so I was terrified to do it. But to your point, absolutely. All my messaging, everything is focused on concierge medicine, but I'm still getting attorneys and construction people and so yeah, I'm not like the template. I've fought this for years of doing it, but now I'm so excited about it.
Right. But that's actually the one of a huge learning point that I think, so listeners, if you're in that space with Graham, where you're thinking, oh, I want to just keep throwing spaghetti at the wall and take anything
Yes.
coming to me, I want to say Graham's the person right now that's telling you, number one, think about abundance. There's enough business out there for everybody, trust me.
Yes.
And niche, go with a niche down. Everybody's like, I don't want to niche because I want to get to every focus brings clarity, and clarity creates confidence, and that's going to give you the business.
And then also, if I'm in a networking group or my messaging on like I know exactly who I'm talking to, and I know how to talk to them, and I know how to solve their problem. Like because I know this, whatever you want to call it, avatar or this
Right.
ICP. I know this person. I know how to talk to them.
Right.
Whereas If I'm talking to them and I'm talking to the chiropractor, I'm talking to the attorney, it's a little bit of different messaging for each one. It's a little bit of, and then I could get confused or I could like, oh my gosh, it's so much easier. It's so much easier.
Point. It's so much easier when you have the focus on who who you want to talk to and when you're niching down. And it is for that very reason. I talk a lot about making not an elevator pitch, but a mission sentence,
Oh, wow. I love it.
right? So what is that sentence that you can say to somebody that describes what you do, but it's not the pitch,
Yeah.
right? And there's a difference there. It's like, it's not like, oh, I'm pitching you so I can help you. No, I don't pitch. What is that mission sentence? And that if that mission sentence can be tight enough that you can share it, almost like put it in your footer, on your email or whatever, even on your business card. So when you hand your business card to somebody, oh, and by the way, people, I'm a true believer in paper. I like the business card. Um, then somebody's going to look at it and be like, this is Graham Kuhn and this, missions, your whatever your mission sentence, um, I'm put on this planet to help promote and highlight concierge medicine practices and share their stories through video,
Mm, I love it.
right?
Yeah,
So,
and we also talk about the because in sales training it's all about solve the pain points. What are the pain points? Well, we talk deeper about not just the pain point, oh, I need lead generation and I need this. I help you get 10 leads a day, but focus on what is the emotional pain point? What is this doctor who's been at whatever hospital for 10 years and they just started this business? What do they wake up at 2 a.m. worried about? What are they afraid? And how can you speak to that? Like, so I help concierge medicine practices, or I help uh, concierge medicine practitioners um, not worry about how people are going to find them or whatever. But just speaking of that emotional, I can help you sleep better at night,
right,
basically.
right.
And not just the like, I'll help you get 5 leads a day, but like very, very
Sorry. Yeah.
emotional. But yeah, I love your mission. I think I'm gonna change my LinkedIn headline
So
now
the
after
the
talking
word
to
that
you.
just came to me was like you help illuminate.
Oh yes.
You
I like
help
to say
illuminate,
amplify, but I like illuminate because it's
right? Yeah,
visual.
right. I
Yes.
help illuminate concierge medical practitioners.
Yeah,
Something.
yeah.
The
Oh, I
word
love it. I love
illuminate was
it.
like, oh, I like this word illuminate.
I love it too. Yeah. Well, and because it creates a picture, so you're
Right.
engaging the brain more. Yeah. Hey, look at us making my
Right.
business better.
Hey, that's what we want to do.
I know
We want to make everybody's businesses better,
we're
right?
have a live coaching call. I love it.
Yeah. So, Graham, so I love that you're doing this and you're helping these people, you're helping concierge medical practitioners. What does that, feel like, when you're helping somebody like that um like fill your cup, right?
Yeah.
As you said, you love helping people help other people. But, you know, I'd love to hear a little bit about like how do they feel? How does a practitioner feel when you deliver that?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually I love this. Um there was a webinar I did last year where I would say my two favorite things in what I do. The first is when I send a first draft of a brand story video to a client and they text me or they call me or they email me and they say, "Oh my God, I'm in tears. This is so amazing. You captured my essence and my heart. How did you do this? How did you make me look so good?" It's like, oh, we get that emotional reaction. They say they're in tears. I'm like, home run. And then the second favorite thing is a couple weeks later when they say, "Oh my gosh, Graham, I put it on my website or I posted it on Facebook or LinkedIn and I got a call and I got a new client because they saw the video." And I'm like, "Oh, that's why we do it." Like there's a local coach. um, in my area who's a friend of mine. We did a brand story video, very emotional story. He's now a quadriplegic. He was
Ooh.
2006 Afghanistan, a roadside bomb. He was the only survivor in the like amazing story. And now he's a coach, mindset and like overcoming and all this stuff. And I told his story in the video, like it was so emotional and so amazing. I sent him the draft. It wasn't the final. And he texted me back. He goes, dude, I sent this to a guy who I've been trying to get in touch with for months and he's ghosted me to be like a keynote speaker. He goes, I sent the video. 2 hours later, he wrote back and said, let's get on a call. And then he's like, and then the next day, he's like, within 24 hours, two people who had ghosted me wrote back to me because they saw my video. And I'm like, dude,
Oh.
that feels amazing. And it changed his life and changed his business because now he's got three super hot leads who were going to ghost him before. And so they just, I feel like one, I feel like they feel like they made the right decision because, when they're spending that kind of money, it's always like, oh, I hope this works out. So it's just I know it's a huge relief
Right.
when it works. And then as they start to get more and more clients because of the videos we're creating, it just makes their business better. It makes their life better. It's funny. It's like mine. Like here's all my goals for 1 year and 10 year. And one of my 1 year goals is a calmer schedule, getting my
Ooh.
systems and process, and so I'm not the one doing everything, and I'm handing more things off to my team members and handing more things and just a calmer schedule. And I feel like that's what it does for my clients is okay, I can kind of put these videos on the website and they're a little bit on autopilot. So I'm not having to answer the same questions over and over. I'm not having to take time to do, I can focus on what I'm good at and what I do. So I think it makes them calmer and I think they feel a lot of relief. And I think they're excited about it because they look great. Everybody hates being on camera. They're like, oh God, I hate being on camera. And then they watch the video, go, how did you make me look so good? It's like because we're doing what you and I are doing, literally having a conversation, and I'm listening to what they're saying, and I'm digging deeper and getting those emotional responses from them. I mean, that's the big secret is just
Right.
getting them to talk about things that matter.
Right. Getting that response and but I love that. I absolutely love it. And I absolutely love what you're doing. And I could probably talk to you for hours about this because I think it is so damn important. And brands, and I think this is something that I also just I want people to understand, and I'd like your take on it. I think people have to remember one thing. You are a brand, I am a brand. Each and every one of us personally is a brand. And so I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's also what the videos do. It brings out the brand in people.
Yeah, I always say that it shows the person behind the logo.
Yeah.
Because even if we're doing one of my clients is a big company that does about 400 million a year. We're still doing brand videos with the CEO because that top person, their heart, their mission, and their vision, it implies that permeates the entire organization. And so showing him or her and talking to them from the heart, that is the quote unquote brand. The brand's not the logo. The brand is, what people think of when they hear the name of your company. And it's interesting you brought that up, like personal branding, because I always fought that, especially becoming a business owner and being like and having, imposter syndrome. Like, oh my gosh, nobody's gonna hire me to do videos. I'm the church music guy. And so I was like, the name of my company is Focus Films, and I would always try to promote Focus Films. Focus Films did this, Focus Films. And in the last couple of years, I've realized in networking groups and different referral networks is people are referring me and who I am and how I show up and how I speak and how I deliver and my knowledge about storytelling and neuroscience. And so I've leaned more into Graham promoting me, not so much Focus Films. And they know I'm a video guy and all that, but that's been very beneficial. And not that I'm going to be a keynote speaker or you're hiring me alone. Like there's a whole team. But yeah, to your point, leaning into me and my mission and my vision and my just who I am really resonates with people. They're, oh, you're so nice. You're so generous. You really want to help people. You're so smart about videos and story. Like it's really changed everything for me the last couple of years, like giving up the imposter syndrome of, oh, I have to show like I'm a big brand and leaning into me.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Focus Films is the company, but you still are the brand behind, you're the person who's behind it, right? And
Yep.
so that's still they go, you go hand in hand,
Yep.
right? I mean the one key thing is that, when the day comes that you want to maybe shift because it's Focus Films and not, the Graham Kuhn show, then it makes it more quote unquote sellable, right?
Yep.
Because they're not buying, they can't buy you,
Yep.
right? So, but it's true. Oh, Focus Films, you've got to meet Graham. Focus Films, you got to meet Graham.
Yep.
I'm Graham with Focus Films. Like it changes it. It's you're a bit.
Yeah, and we're at, that's actually what my coach and I are working on now is like the 10-year plan because he's like, if you do it right, you could sell your business. And I'm like, no way, dude. I'm like, I'm the value. Like he's like, no, if you get the systems and the processes and you get a team and you can be more hands off, like that's the value. He's like, of all of my students, I think you're one of the few that could actually build something to sell. And like I had never really thought about that before because I thought nobody's gonna once I leave this company, there's no value. And he's like, nah, dude, if you do it the right way. So that's
Right.
it's funny you brought that up because we're working on that right now over the next 10 years to yeah, you're awesome, dude. You're awesome. It's right here. 10-year plan. Sell business.
But look at
It's
that,
amazing.
right? There you go. All right. Graham, you are truly amazing. You're great to talk to and great to connect with. How can our listeners learn more about what you're doing? Maybe even get their own brand video. Um,
Yep.
how do they reach out and connect?
Two best ways are either my website, focusfilms.com, or I'm very active on LinkedIn. I'm always messaging with people. I'm always posting on LinkedIn about how to use video in a business or storytelling, all this kind of stuff. And so LinkedIn, Graham Kuhn, or focusfilms.com, two best ways.
Okay, great. Well, I will put those in the show notes. So please, listeners, do me a favor. Connect with Graham because he is truly amazing. And then make sure that you share this episode with your friends, your family members, anybody that you know in business, because there's a lot of great nuggets that we talked about and great things to take away from this. And then do me the next favor and go over to the school community and jump into the Unstoppable Success School community. We have a brand new area on school, and we'd love for you to be in there if you want to have unstoppable success. We share tips and tricks every single week. You never know, maybe Graham will actually come back and be one of our guests in there. He'll be a highlight. And then, if you are interested in learning a little bit more about relationship capital, which is actually building better relationships and connections, there is a 7-day challenge. I will put it's free. It's all about increasing your ROI. So that is return on your investment with your relationships. So jump into the free relationship challenge. It's 7 days, and that will be in the show notes. So thank you, Graham, for being an amazing guest. And thank you, listeners, for listening. This is the Unstoppable Success, where we help you leap to your greatest success.